project is actually initially started from 2003 for 18 months. A pilot the main bureau decided to have because of the dispersal of asylum seekers. That's why they decided to recruit people from this project, asylum refugee project.
It was about training and supporting volunteers from these communities who had lots of skills, lots of experience in their own country, but they weren't allowed to work. So the training and the practice at the bureau built up their experience and developed skills.
The Asylum Seeker and Refugee project was deemed a success over a number of years, so the decision was taken to expand its remit to include people who identified with all the protected characteristics under Equalities legislation in order to extend the amount of people who could benefit from the project.
CAB for me is pretty much been my platform in terms of starting a new life in Scotland. I was going to college at the time, and at the beginning, being in a new country, not knowing so much about various aspects of things, the language barrier and all that, the CAB kind of gave me that platform where I could get exposed to various aspects in terms of meeting clients and training and even the personal contact with people, making friends. So to me, the CAB embraced me, and in a way it nurtured me into what I am today, pretty much in a nutshell.
It was at Glasgow Disability Alliance Big Open Day, and the Citizens Advice Bureau had a stand, and I started talking to Val, so she sort of encouraged me to come as a volunteer. Having disabilities, I was quite isolated and quiet. I think I've gained a lot of confidence and I can participate more, I think, in society.
I needed to do something to improve my English, to improve my knowledge, my background about the society, the culture, everything.
I was an asylum seeker, and I was looking for something to do, like volunteering. And I was told to come here with some of my friends.
I had a child, and Val suggested that they could give me childcare to help me to make my training easy.
I found out that it helped me a lot to know the system, because it's so difficult, it's different from back home.
Staff were very supportive from the beginning, and you could feel that immediately that you are welcome. And whenever you have had any problems, questions, you got help from the staff.
I think really it's empowered me to feel like a person again, not somebody who's disabled.
It makes you feel much better that you've enhanced someone's day, you've taken a bit of their burden, and you've made them realise that they are not an isolated case. There's many cases like that, and that is why the Bureau exists.
Had a formal partnership agreement with Maryhill CAB, and the Equalities project has undertaken training that we've delivered, and that's allowed them to expand on the knowledge that they had in relation to immigration queries.
Historically, it was myself that dealt with all the refugees and asylum problems and all that, but as I've got more and more complex, it's quite good that we contact the immigration clinic for advice and reassurance that we're doing it right. In the more complex cases, we refer them to the immigration clinic, and we phone up and make an appointment for them.
You know, whether it be in like 20 minutes, they'll actually speak to you, give you the advice, second support. It's quite a scary thing to actually deal with somebody who you think, if I give you wrong advice, you could be deported. It's actually really good to actually have somebody who's actually in real time available. You can pick up the phone. Val or our staff are always there to give you good advice.
Maryhill and Postle Park also benefit from having a diverse range of volunteers who can bring down different language skills and act as interpreters for the Bureau. That allows us to serve the people in the local community where English isn't their first language, and it helps save us money for the cost they hire interpreters, which can be very pricey.
Our first port of call is to Mary Hill for translations, and some of them have been coming on a weekly basis for us, especially the Tamil speakers and the French speakers.
I definitely benefited quite a lot from being here, from the training, from my job as an advisor.
I improved a lot of skills, interview skills, communication skills, writing skills, meeting new people. It's really a good feeling. Want to know that client can come and solve the problem, the issue. You really have really good feelings that know that you have helped someone.
I've developed stuff like, communication, because you're always talking with clients when you, that's part of the job on a day-to-day basis. And skills like listening skills, because that's it's an integral part of it. And then the most important thing that I've gained is problem solving. And analysis of the problems and how prioritizing and solving them. I think has been one of the biggest things that I have achieved so far.
For asylum seekers, it's something special because they don't have right to work, but they have a fantastic background from their own countries.
One of the workers from CAB came over and shared information about the services that CAB provide, but also about the training that CAB provide. This was a vital element of support to lone parents being able to develop their skills and build their confidence, and for some it led to employment.
Val, who runs the Equalities project, had come to a lone parents group that I was a part of and spoken to us about volunteering opportunities with the CAB and specifically around the childcare fund. I'd been out of work for I think about 2.5 years at that point. So initially it was picking up on transferable skills that you've forgotten about, learning new things, or went into a paid job with another bureau, which was, my employability was based solely on the volunteering that I'd done with the CAB.
I think it's a huge step for the future employment because it covers volunteering and being an advisor in a citizen advice bureau. I think it's the best place to work, to help people, because I think just after volunteering all doors they will be opened. It covers everything.
At the moment I'm working as an interpreter, and the job as an advisor helped me a lot. The knowledge, I can use the knowledge I gained here in my job as an interpreter.
Now I just feel ready for everything that is available, because I just believe in myself that I'm able to do anything as long as I can be an advisor in the CAB. I can take on any task.
It was through someone from ethnic minorities who directed me to this place because they couldn't do my case anymore.
Because my English wasn't very good and I didn't really understand the system in the UK, I didn't feel in control of my situation.
I went to the disability unit up there, and that's when I met Malcolm, and he filled in forms for me because my son had died in May 2014, and I had to ask Malcolm to deal with the stuff.
My friend, if have some problem, doesn't know how to do, I said you can go to bureau, the people can help you, and the people make appointments coming, and it's help.
If it wasn't for the service, my wife would not be able to remain in the UK because I wouldn't know where to start, who to go to, who to talk to, any general basic knowledge. I didn't know what to do when my wife came to the UK, didn't know what paperwork she needed, what bill I had to put on her name, what bank account to open, any general knowledge question I didn't know.
We've been able to use their expertise on obviously issues with welfare, with housing, etc.
I'm grateful for the service because my situation was quite messy and I don't think I could have dealt with everything myself.
They really managed to help me with everything, the calling, everything. If they were not around, definitely it would have been worse, but I'm happy they're around and they've helped me.